Good morning, Toronto. It's a little brisk this Monday morning, but as Frank Ferragini has said, and will be the case throughout the week, the afternoon will be much better. Welcome back. I'm Sid Sedixeiro. We've heard so much about real estate lately as prices are up, but people are still buying. Where do you even start if you're considering getting into this market? Joining us now is pre-construction specialist with Home Life G1 Realty, Sahil Punni, joining us. How you doing?
I'm good, Sid. How are you? Good morning to everybody over there.
Good morning to you. Let's start with the pre-construction aspect of this. What are the main factors that I should consider if that's the aspect of the home market that I jump into? What do I need to be aware of?
Well, people are buying in pre-construction. I want them to correlate that with the word time. So essentially what you're doing is you're actually buying time. Usually low-rise townhomes and detached homes, you're looking at about a year and a half till 2 years till even closing. And if you're looking at a new condo, you're looking at around 4 to 5 years. So now you're locking in today's price for something that would be closing, of course, a few years down the road. What I urge people to do is actually use time to their advantage. If you are looking into kind of a new subdivision, one of the major factors you want to do is buy in an area extremely early in a development and also early in a city which might still be growing. The benefit of this is you're buying and you're locking in today's price for something where, a community where new homes are coming, new shopping malls, stores, restaurants, maybe even some transit. By the time you actually close, a lot of the time the home prices are a lot more, 2-3 years down the road.
So now, sorry, go ahead.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Well, we received a lot of questions because people don't necessarily understand how do you even buy in pre-construction? Because it is very different from the resale market, for example. If you saw a home, down the street that you wanted to buy, chances are you would have to close on that within 2-3 months. So you need to account for 100% of the financing, whether you're putting 20% down and letting the bank carry the other 80. But with pre-con, because the closings are 2-3 years down the road, the deposit structure, that same 20% gets stretched over a year and a half, 2 years. This has helped a lot of younger families actually be able to afford the down payment because it does stretch over about a year and a half to 2 years.
Sahil, you mentioned markets that are growing, and I live in Mississauga, and there was once upon a time you could find kind of pre-construction places in Mississauga left and right, and it wasn't really an issue. Now Mississauga is not that kind of place anymore. But what markets are you talking about if you're a young couple, a young family, and you're thinking of buying, but you don't mind moving a bit kind of more out west or out east? What are the markets that are growing pre-construction wise that you would recommend?
Yeah, so of course, people kind of came towards Mississauga, Brampton, Oakville area, coming a little bit outside that core Toronto area, which was very weird for a lot of people previously. But now a lot of young families are having to do the same because this kind of golden horseshoe is getting a little bit more expensive. The areas which I've seen doing extremely well is a little bit further west, areas like Brantford, Paris, even you've seen, you can educate yourself on Caledonia, even towards Niagara. And then if you go north towards Barrie, Innisfil, and these type of cities, there's a lot of growth coming here that people can kind of educate themselves on with new transit coming to the areas, a lot of new kind of developments, thousands of homes. Those are the areas people are kind of going towards because they're able to kind of raise a new family with new schools, new community, and kind of have that kind of smaller town vibe.
So Sahil, I'm a young family watching this, and you're mentioning these markets, and I'm saying to myself, there's no way the market stays this hot. At some point, Sahil, it's going to come down, and I don't necessarily have to invest in markets outside of the GTA in that way. Mm-hmm. What do you think is going to happen to this market? Is that a wise strategy, or do you think things are going to stay hot for a long time here?
Well, I could see it staying hot for, quite a while. Every year people do say the same things, of course, and nobody can predict the future. But anybody that had said that to me 2 years ago, 3 years ago, wish they bought at that time. And I predict the same thing to happen over time. If you look at kind of the trend of real estate over the last, even 100 years, it's always trending upwards. Now, the cost of construction, for example, because of COVID has gone through the roof. So builders and people kind of developing these new homes, they actually can't bring the prices down because the cost of construction is so high. So they have almost no choice but to price it high. And honestly, the demand is still going through the roof because of COVID and the fact that people do need a little bit more space A lot of people have upgraded their homes to, bigger detached home, bigger townhomes. But, the supply has remained relatively the same. Demand through the roof, supply, not growing too much. So I expect this to carry, for quite a long time, not to mention, obviously, the immigration, which will open up as, the vaccines roll out and things like that. But honestly, the best time to get in the market is still right now. Let it ride out for a few years because I don't see it slowing down anytime soon.
We got 10 seconds, Sahil. How can people get a hold of you online?
If you want to get a hold of me online or give me a call, you can call me at 647-622-0207. You have my Instagram handle, Sahil Punni Real Estate, and on Facebook as well to follow.
Great stuff. Have a terrific day. Thank you.
Thanks, Sid.